If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The following podcast is brought to you exclusively by the Rad Rob Radio Network.
Hey guys, here Rad Rob from Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I want to talk about a new sponsor we have, which is Eat Clean Bro. Eat Clean Bro is a great subscription program that delivers you fresh, already prepared meals that you don't have to make yourself straight to your doorstep. Step 2, cooked fresh by chefs. Eating healthy doesn't have to mean sacrificing taste, which is why their chefs take special care to ensure that every meal is packed with flavor, nutrition, and satisfaction. Every meal is crafted with the utmost care and attention to detail. Step 3, you just heat, eat, and enjoy. Your meals are delivered straight to your doorstep, making it easy to stay on track with your healthy eating goals without ever leaving the comfort of your home. You can enjoy a healthy and delicious meal in minutes without compromising on quality or taste. Eat Clean Bro is fresh, healthy, and convenient. It's fresh and never frozen, made from scratch and fully prepared. Cooked to perfection by chefs, you can just leave it to the professionals. It's healthy, nutritional meals, no processed food, only the highest quality ingredients delivered to your doorstep, so you can save time and focus on what matters most to you. Eat Clean Bro has been featured by the New York Post, Bloomberg, Fox News, Daily News, the Chicago Tribune, and many other websites and publications. So to start your first order, go to eatcleanbro.com. That is eatcleanbro.com, and we thank them for sponsoring our podcast.
This is PBA champion Kyle Troop.
Hey y'all, Jakob Butturff here.
Jeff Riggles here from 11thframe.com.
Hey guys, Chuck Ritchie here, formerly of Bowl TV.
Hey guys, this is Ryan Schaefer of track staff at Valley Bowling Center in Waverly, New York.
And you're listening to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Yo, the boys from Straight Up 5, Rad Rob, Dr Ocho, and of course JP Jr.
As you know, JP Jr. used to be introduced as the sexiest man in bowling, and now the world. But he doesn't have the best hair in the world. I do. Sorry, bud, but you know the deal. Pick it out. Fear the fro, baby.
Welcome to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. A hard-hitting, in-depth, cutting-edge look into the world of bowling. This podcast will not only cover all things bowling, but will also give you a raw look into real-life issues. You'll get unfettered access into the mind of one of the most gifted bowlers of this or any other generation.
Strike, and they claim it. Similarly does it.
So without further ado, let's introduce you to the hosts of the show. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Rad Rob, Rob Francois. Dr. Ocho. Dr. Ocho. And the incomparable Johnny Petraglia Jr. Johnny Petraglia Jr.
Hey guys, welcome back to Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. I am your host, Rad Rob, Rob Francois. This is episode 132. Let's see who's in the chat right now. We got Clifton Don. What's going on, brother? We got Nico, finally. Yeah, I was last minute, bro. I had to put that little video together. So, it's when the boss says you got to do something, you got to do it. So that's what I did. What's going on, Billy? What's up? What's up? What's up? Adam Bernhardt in the chat. Let's go, Mets. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. I'm bald. Do they have a Popeyes chicken meal? No, it's Eat Clean. That says itself. Apparently, everybody's on the Popeyes train. There's a sponsor of a Popeyes dupe for you to try. If so, I'm totally in. I'll get with Jamie and we'll we'll see. We'll see on that. But anyways, good evening, everybody. Chuck Ritchie's in the house. What's going on, Chuck? Chuck, you're going to be on the show one day. I promise. Yeah, I promise. Don't worry about it. Staying man, what's going on? All right. Nicole is here. Hello, Nicole. Happy birthday. All right, let's bring in my first co-host, the man with the golden mask. He is the resident doctor of Straight Up 5. He has the largest arms on the podcast. He is the resident house hack from Howell Lanes, the one and only Dr. Ocho. What's going on, Ocho? I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. What's up?
That's it. 2 weeks. That's all. Still just doing my thing and looking better than most. Better than most. Better than most. Like that Tiger Woods putt in 2000 on the TPC at Sawgrass. Number 17. Rob. So, yes, everybody, it's Eat Clean Bro. Rob was promoted. He was approached by Eat Filthy Bro, and they even said they were going to put a picture of his neck on every piece of food to see have you seen this neck, but we turned it down because we don't feel like that's part of our brand. So that's the pro that Rob is right here. FYI, Radical Francois. Thank him for that.
Radical Robert is what you used to call me.
I call you Ram Man.
My vacation was good, Nico. I appreciate it. We had a little bit of rain and wind from Hurricane Helene.
Christ, Rob, nobody cares. Fucking Jesus Christ, let's go.
Thankfully, it didn't hit us bad, but
just being nice.
Everyone here in the show gives their thoughts and prayers to the flood victims and the hurricane victims in Georgia and Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and East Tennessee.
Is it bad that I'm flexing during that moment? I mean, because I'm still giving the fans what they want.
Anyways, let's bring in. Wait, is he there? I see an arm next to you. Is that?
That's my arm. Oh, oops.
I recognize that sexy arm. It's Johnny Petraglia Jr. with the fresh cut from Georgie's.
Oh, man, I'm fucking sweetly blended. And huge shout out to Georgie over at Sweet Blends for the hookup with the CEO and owner of Eat Clean Bro, Jamie. What a pleasure meeting you today, Jamie and Georgie. Thank you so much again for not only your continued support of our show, but your continued attempts to make it even bigger and even better. So thanks so much, dude.
Yeah.
My head is overly thankful. I mean, I look fly as fuck right now.
Yeah, you do.
Sorry about the F-bombs really, really early, but I'm in a good mood tonight.
No, it's all good. And you should be in a good mood because you're a beautiful man.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, sir.
You're welcome.
He's a beautiful man. This is what we do on Straight Up 5.
He's a beautiful man. He really is. So, yeah, get great pre-cooked meals right to your door with eatcleanbro.com. I'm sure we're going to be working on a promo code in the future and some discounts for y'all. So this literally happened today.
You're too close. Sorry, we're just adjusting our seats here so everybody can see all of both of us.
That's what everybody wants to see is all of both of you, for sure. Anyways, so not much has been going on since we left off. We had AJ Johnson on our last show. It was great to speak to him and talk about his Elias Cup victory, a part of the Las Vegas High Rollers. What else is going on, John? Butters. Butters is kind of on a roll right now. I think see, whenever people come on the show, they just get the Straight Up 5 rub. Nate Garcia has been bowling better now. And Butters is lighting up the Chaccos. I think he's won 2 tournaments already. People are already complaining that, don't you live on the West Coast? What are you doing on these? Well, Butters goes.
What's funny is we say Butters is killing them right now, but respectfully, Butters is always killing them.
That's fair.
I mean, Butters kicked everybody's ass on the West Coast, and now he's just doing what he does. He just outstrikes everybody, man. He has the elixir, and obviously the transition from the Purple Hammer to the harder surfaced urethane balls not only affected him, but a lot of players that were achieving a lot of success due to the game that they had to adapt to.
Sure.
And it's only a matter of time before he starts sparking on the regular tour as he does everywhere else. It's just like any other top player in the world. When you're that good at something, eventually you're going to hit a slump. I mean, we watch Aaron Judge, for Christ's sake, the third
That's just
player.
it. And you go 13 games without a home run, and they're like, there's something wrong with it. I'm like, no, that's actually average for most people.
Meanwhile, you're one of 3 players
Yeah.
to ever have multiple 60 home run seasons, yet you strike out like over 100 times when you go to the plate every single season. There's times where, like, Pete Alonso this year was on an 0 for 22 stretch, and look at the Mets now. Francisco Lindor battling back from injury. It's every single
when the bar set that high, like any instant of tumultuous situation, and they're like, something's wrong. Are we really passing on the irony that Rob said Butter's on a roll? I mean, like, can that not be a shirt? Like,
I mean,
how are we missing this?
He is on the gravy train with biscuit wheels. No,
I was with the pose. I thought we were taking pictures. We were doing shots of the shirt, man.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. And the chat was clapping. I bet you.
Good timing. Yeah. Good timing.
No, Butters is on a roll. It should be a shirt. We'll definitely throw that to the art
and
department.
Put him with his waddle shake throw thing, whatever it is.
Waddle
he's literally
crank smash.
That's what I said.
Crank smash.
And put it on it. Literally, we're calling the art department tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to find the part where his feet separate at like that time, like the way Evelyn's feet do. Like when Evelyn sits, her front paws are this way. There is a point in Jacob's approach where both feet go this way. That should be the image with waddle crank smash.
I love that.
And duck feet too, like that'd be fun too.
Totally.
We have a way about it.
Hell yeah!
And he's he's in a great headspace now. He's got a new girlfriend. He's in a good place. And thank God, because he talked about his struggles this year when he was on the show a few weeks ago. But good on him, man, for cleaning up his diet and getting in better shape. And I mean, we're happy for Butters. He's a good guy.
It's pretty cool to see more and more professionals. Like we had Kyle Troop on for my birthday bash a few weeks ago. Boog Krol had asked me for a nutrition plan going into this season. It's crazy that more and more the talent level is so high, and you can always argue if bowling's a sport or a game, but to be the best in anything you do, you have to be finely tuned mentally and physically. And in the bowling world, every year that progresses, more and more play. You don't see any more of the big guys being successful week to week, and I say that with the utmost respect. I mean, like when I say big guys, I mean I'm gonna just to give you a prime example. You're not gonna see guys like Dale Traber or guys that are built like that every single week, bowling 40-something games every single week between practice, pro-am, and tournament.
Yeah, have
a chance to beat guys like a Marshall Kent or an EJ.
Oh, there's a fitness aspect attached to it,
Totally.
and it's even so dialed in, which is what I started asking guys about, because it's not like, Johnny and I. Okay, Johnny, not me. I'm physically gifted. My bad. No, of course, I put many hours in the gym. It didn't happen overnight, but we do routines set for muscle groups. Which sometimes decreases our flexibility because we shorten our muscles as we tighten them. These guys have to work obscure muscles, accessory muscles. And I'm usually the one to jump in and talk about it when someone starts exercising. Like, shoot, Kyle was meal prepping, and he started with these things. And I'm like, you're probably doing some obscure stuff. He's like, yeah, we're doing quarter extensions, one-legged lunges, one-legged squats, that kind of shit.
Totally.
And you have to work the most accessory-type muscles in order to bowl, because again, regardless of whether you're two-handed or one-handed, it's still asymmetrical. Mm-hmm. Big muscles, small muscles, it's asymmetrical. It's a big rock on one side and not on the other.
And honestly, like Rob, even going to, because I was going to bring this up, and I'm actually glad that Chuck Ritchie brought it up in the comments here. I wasn't going to bring Wes into this equation here the same way I almost even said Steve Cook earlier, because I'm not talking about guys that are just, I'm just going to say it, guys that are heavier, guys that are not in athletic condition. Like Bartolo Colon, to me, is one of the greatest baseball pitchers ever, and he was not finely tuned. Neither was David Wells. So, I mean, you do have your exceptions.
CC Sabathia even.
Right.
Now CC Sabathia is a freaking rock, man.
But, to go with what Chuck is saying here, Wes could only bowl so many years, especially with that much spine tilt, when he stands 6'4" and weighs 270. Steve Cook was
upright though, right?
Steve Cook was 6'7", 275.
So it was a little more upright. He didn't really bend. I don't know, actually. Now
he wasn't as bent over as Wes is at the foul line, but eventually
It's a bad center of gravity too.
The hips and the legs could possibly take with that big of a
It's
frame.
a bad center of gravity. There's fulcrums and there's center of gravities, and the fulcrum is the short part. The center of gravity is the even part. When you're that tall and the weight distribution is different, it's going to be bad. Again, 100%. Asymmetrical.
And like contrary to that, if you look at somebody like Mika, who's about like half the distance of the height between, well, maybe he's about Wes's height, certainly shorter than Steve Cook, but he's very lean. He's very limber. He grew up bowling overseas where you had to throw the ball over the front part of the lane.
Yeah, he always chucked it. He like he was throwing bocce balls.
I've said this a million times on this show. I've always thought that the anomalies in our sport are the bigger guys. Like it's rare to see somebody that's really, really super successful that's tall or big. So when you look at somebody like Walter Ray Williams Jr., Walter Ray is 6'2". Walter, okay, fine. So he's like one of the exceptions. But when you look at the best in the world over the course of time, let's just go through a couple names here. We got Pete Weber, Norm Duke, Anthony Simonson, EJ Tackett, just to name a few, Jason Belmonte. And collectively, amongst the 5 guys that I just mentioned, the tallest one is Belmo, and he's about 5'9", maybe actually even 5'8". It seems that like over the course of time, the guys that are a little bit lower to the foul line because of their height are guys that are on a more level plane when they're letting the ball go, and they can stand the test of time longer. And then you got the guys that are like kind of in the middle, say like a Brian Voss, who's 5'10", with the most simple compact game ever. David Ozio falls into that. Mike Albee, Ricky Ward. I just like to spot some slightly different examples. And then you look at guys like Amleto Monticelli, perfectly fucking tuned as an athlete, 100%, but also a shorter guy, 5'7", 5'8". I've noticed that over my life, and I feel like that's not talked about enough. Where like in football, they say, hey man, come back when you're 30 pounds heavier. Or in baseball, they say, come back when you can throw the ball 10 miles an hour faster. So if I want to throw a baseball 10 miles an hour faster in 1 year, I'm not going to try and build muscle. I'm going to try and build flexibility. If I want to gain 30 pounds to be a lineman in football, I'm going to double my caloric intake, try and lift as heavy a weight as I possibly can for a certain amount of reps, and then just pile drive people into the ground.
You see what they look like when they retire? They lose 100 pounds in their first year off, and they're like, I don't 100%. Have to. They're eating for fuel and not for food. It's not even enjoyment. It's 5,000 calories.
Look what our girl Amanda just said. Sean Maldonado is a perfect example. Here's a guy who was successful and said, I want to be more successful, and the only way I could do it, the only way I can keep up with the talent pool is to like kind of build my physical frame around to match what I have to do every single week. And these guys aren't bowling for millions of dollars. These guys are bowling for their livelihood literally every single week. Hi, Moselle. Good to see you, babe. But this is one of the arguments I always have when it comes to when people measure is bowling a sport or not. I understand that the general public believes bowling is a game, but if it is your livelihood and you want to be the best in the world, it has to be treated just like anything else. Fair enough.
Agreed.
And being someone who's been into health and fitness and changed, I mean, your life around, Johnny, you were a big guy, 10 years ago or so, or maybe more recently than that. But you made the choice to change your diet, change your exercise, change your lifestyle, and like you said, it kind of affected your bowling game because you're not well. There's a caveat to that. You're trying to look good naked, like you always say, and put on more muscle, and not as much as just staying lean, like most of the bowlers are trying to do now, because your frame is affected the way you throw the ball.
Again, my heart is not with bowling the way that it used to be. Actually, my heart is. My brain isn't.
Right. Your bowling isn't. Yeah. Your bowling isn't, but bowling in itself is.
Right.
So, because he literally goes to YouTube at the end of the night and watches bowling. Like that's his routine.
Yeah, but my biggest thing is, so like in bowling, you always hear don't chicken wing it. Try not to throw your thumb down early. And obviously all that means is get under the ball and not on the side of the ball. Keep your thumb outside of your fingers.
Can't chicken wing when the thumb ain't in it.
With me, because I'm into bodybuilding. I want to look like a Greek god. It's actually my goal. I don't know if that goal will ever be achieved,
Well, you're Italian.
I know how to do it, and I know what inhibits it, right? So, like, when I go bowling, most of the time when I go to Bowl League, I'm there. Guppy Troop said this best, and so did Carmen Salvino. When they made television, their first goal was to entertain the fans, so they came back to watch bowling, and then their second goal was to win. For me, my first goal when I go into a bowling alley is to get moderately obliterated when I drink, like by drinking. That way I can go mingle with everybody.
And they can tell him how big he is.
And I'm a really, really, really friendly drunk. And when I'm in a bowling alley, obviously you guys know, I get stopped by virtually everybody. Whether they want to talk about getting lessons, they want to tell me a war story about my dad, they want to ask me what color my shoelaces are.
What about Ocho? They ask him what's Ocho like in real life and things like that. A lot of times. It happened in Vegas, remember? Don't say it didn't.
Amanda, that was a really nice comment. Thank you so much for it. What's up, Doyle?
Amanda, were you talking to me or him?
She's definitely talking to me.
Fuck.
Doyle wants to be a genetic freak.
Respectfully, you have the peaks, I have the width. If I were to stand in front of you, they wouldn't see you.
Yeah, because I'm pasty white still.
No,
I
they
glow
just,
through
they just
you.
actually wouldn't see you.
I glow through you.
I would block out the sun. If
You'd
I
be
stood
the
in front.
eclipse.
Ocho, you're so white, I almost think you were part Irish, but you're full-blooded Italian, so I don't get it.
But
Italians
so
usually
like,
have darker skin,
and then
don't
my
they?
second goal is to perform to my absolute best for my team. I could give a shit less if I bowl 160 or 260. If my team wins, I'm happy.
If you get 3 strikes in the 10th for a 160 to win, you're good.
But here's the flip side to that, and the reason we even started the convo. I got into weightlifting because that lifestyle was ruining my life. It ruined my life like a million times over. I got into weightlifting because anybody that lifts weights or anybody that trains understands that alcohol is poison. And if you drink alcohol, the first thing your body has to do is process that alcohol before you can even start the recovery process.
It's
of
very
72
empty.
hours.
Very empty.
Exactly. Then you have to try and chug water, which actually just makes you sick in the initial stages, right? So what I decided to do about 5 years ago was try, like, I don't want to quit drinking. I actually enjoy drinking, but just try and do it moderately. Like, for instance, today was my rest day. I'm back at the gym tomorrow. I had no problem having drinks last night at Majestic because I knew I didn't have anything to do today. But now being 40 years old, the body takes a couple days to recover. It's not like we were like,
you're not waking up going, all right, ready to go,
like,
ready
hey,
to go.
let's just do this again, right? Anyway, I'm starting to spit again, but you kind of understand like where I'm going with all this, right?
But the point is, so with your physique has altered your mechanics a little bit. However,
that was weird.
The one good thing is because you're thumbless, you don't have to go around. You kind of just have to stay around you can turn in your direction. Your lat's as wide as it's going to be. As long as you stay in the same groove, you're all right. It's the lat that may push it out. That's the difference. When he starts getting bigger, his arm's going to come out a little wider instead. He may reroute unintentionally, but he'll figure that out when it happens, I would figure.
Oh, Rob, here's the best, simplest I can explain it. Brian Voss used to say, if I want to hit 10, I have to look at 8. Because there's always like a 2-board buffer because whether you're right or left eye dominant, whatever it may be, right? For me, if I want to hit 10 and play straight up 10.
He's looking at the gutter probably.
When I was leaner and my lats weren't there, I could stand on like 16, 17 and throw it straight up 10. Now, if I want to hit 10 and like walk perfectly symmetrically to the foul line, I have to stand on like 23. And then I have this window between my side and my elbow. So it always feels like I'm going to throw it across my face, so I fan it. So what I've had to try and learn is instead of trying to keep it tighter around the lat, I actually go around it.
That's how you have
to. At
the
last second, I just literally try and shove my funny bone into my side just long enough that I can let my hand open and go forward.
And that's kind of how Walter Ray does it, but he's had the same kind of symmetry for the last 45 years too.
He hasn't
So
changed.
that's an easily repeatable one. But that's Lee Trevino in the same respect with that figure 8 type of swing. I mean, and that makes more sense than a lot of it because you're going to come back in. You don't have a choice. You're not going to bounce off.
Right.
So, and you're not going to hit your leg.
Totally. By the way, I see Jim Rogers, and I just wanted to make sure that he knows I specifically wore the swole shirt for him tonight.
Nice.
He's always talking to me about it on Mondays. What's Doyle got to say here right now?
Doyle rules.
O'Doyle says, Doyle, you guys need to talk about the greatest tournament in history. It's being run by Dougie. It's called the Diddy, and the pattern is called Baby Oil. This is an actual real tournament on November 9th. To win, you have to be a bad boy.
All right, so number one, Doyle, thank you for this. I actually have to call Dougie now. If you can actually get him on the phone, we will gladly send him a link and invite him on the show. I've wanted Dougie on the show for a long time. Dougie, you're here. If you would like to pop on real quick and talk about the Baby Oil Diddy, I'm sure all of our viewers would like to hear it. If so,
that's quite topical and pop culture like. So that's a great one.
I'm just going to hit
Did
up
you guys do the
Dougie
R. Kelly
real quick?
urine tournament at some point or no? Did that never happen? I would have won that one.
You would have, yeah.
I can bowl on that stuff. I'm just used to it.
Here's my question for you.
Dougie, do me a favor if you're in there, bro. If you want to hop on the show real quick and say hi to everybody and talk a little bit about your tournament, shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger real quick with your email, and I'll have Rob send you a link to hop on the show, bro.
He's got that kind of stroke.
That's right.
But
not Rob's kind of stroke.
Go ahead, Rob.
This is a different.
No, I do have a question. Would it change any if you threw two-handed?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I would just quit.
No, seriously, like, would it help? Would it help your swing?
I've tried.
Well, no, now that you're that wide, you're not even going to get your arm. That's going to throw you way off.
That's why I'm wondering. Like,
you're going to rotate too much and throw spinners.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. I could probably try it, but I definitely neglect my lower half and my core.
Okay.
I am strictly an upper body weightlifter.
It's an upper body business, this whole thing.
I'm not trying to get on stage. If anything, all I'm trying to do with my bodies is I just want to get a little bit bigger on top. I don't want my legs fucking rubbing against each other. And truth be told, the way that I train, if I train my bottom half the way I did my upper, I'd be chafing all day. It's gross.
And then you get neuralgia paresthetica. Look it up, everybody.
And I'm certainly not going to get on stage and take my clothes off.
Why waste a perfectly good day for those under appendages when you could add another chest day in?
That's the problem. Nice. I'm all lower body. I'm upper body. I got nothing. So. Yeah. No,
I think everybody should do chest 5 times a week and then buys on Saturday.
Anyway, since we can't get Dougie on tonight, we will say this. Doyle, thank you for the shout out for Dougie's tournament. I will gladly 1,000% bowl the Baby Oil tournament. Let's go. Yeah. I'll bowl anything that Dougie runs. He's one of I've said this a million times on this show, and anybody that's ever bowled a Dougie Vision event knows that he's not only the best promoter, best person, but he knows how to run a tournament correctly, efficiently. He's just the best. I wish we had 50 more of you in the sport. Honestly.
I won't get in because I want someone else to win. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys.
Chuck Ritchie with a comment of the night: wearing corduroys and starting fires with your huge legs.
That's exactly how it is, man. Neuralgia paresthetica. Hell yeah.
Let's talk about our buddy David Boog Krol. Boog has been on a roll as well lately, especially in the LBC. Obviously, he won the PBA playoffs this year. He recently bowled the PBA Jack Jones Memorial Open, which was a West Regional, and it was another testing point for string pins. And I know we've had several lengthy conversations about string pins on here, especially with Ryan Schaefer, who also bowled on it. But Boog kind of had just a quick little comment that he posted 3 days ago that he finished 5th in the event. It was a string pin test event. And he said that it completely levels the playing field. He said shot making was more of a factor, which is pretty much what everybody is saying. He said he sent 2 messengers across 12 games and only saw about 4 to 5 weird string hits. And then he said support this change for the industry. Now, there's always somebody that may be, let's just say an old school traditionalist that doesn't agree with it. And a lifelong pro regional bowler actually chimed in on his post and said, "You're a top." It's Dave Malnick, if anybody knows who that is.
I do.
He said you're a top. Okay, you're a top professional on string pins, a high of 239, but a 155 and a 171. They would destroy league bowling. Loud and unforgiving. If they build it, bowlers will not come. Like Lehigh PBA this year, 10 miles away, and There's 180 people max, 2 towns away at Fort Myers. And there's only 49 bowlers in Lehigh. No Chris Barnes, no Pete Weber, no Parker Bone. They didn't want to justify them by even bowling. And the next week, just 100 miles away, was Clearwater. People don't, and most won't, bowl on string pins. He said that he not only bowled that tournament, but wrote about it in Facebook and Bowler's Journal, which is the only reason that he bowled. And Boog said, I appreciate your feedback and taking time to comment. I know it's a hot topic in the community, but he feels that it's his responsibility as a professional and a representative of the sport to give tournaments like this a chance, and he will always gladly take part in test tournaments and give his honest feedback. And he's like, you said, you're right. I didn't bowl the best, which even for the top professionals, that happens. But if you ask any guys in the tour, they all have bad days or bad games, and they'll always tell you the truth. So do you kind of get what Dave is saying? Like, not enough pros may be behind it at this point, especially in the regional level when, you have a lot of older guys that are still on the tour and a lot of traditional guys as opposed to the national tour where typically you have obviously the younger guys who are all throwing different styles and different balls, different approaches, different releases, one-handed, two-handed. Just sticking with, sorry, I'm all over the place. Sticking with the regional sentiment, if they're going to keep doing this, do you think that it won't draw any bowlers like he's saying?
So here's my dead honest opinion. People will always bitch about things that are new. A person is smart and people are dumb. We watch it all the time. A person has the ability to assess a situation. But if a person gets in a group with a lot of other persons and they all collectively have one agenda, even if that person doesn't believe the agenda, they'll join the group. Right?
Right.
My dad, for instance, my dad's 77. My dad still writes out directions on a piece of paper. My dad would still print out MapQuest directions. My dad, my dad still sends snail mail when he sends bills. He deposits checks at the bank. It's nothing against my dad, but my dad will bitch about, I'm not doing this automated shit. I'm not letting them get my information this way.
Right.
That's something that a 77-year-old person, it's totally normal for them to think about.
Yeah, my dad's saying
I'm 40 years old. You want to know what turns me off the most about women? When they literally inject fake asses and fake lips. Yeah. It's the grossest thing to me on the goddamn planet. I'd rather see a woman wake up in the morning with no makeup on and see what they look like than ever have to kiss something that had something injected in them. It's just not for me, right?
Right.
But if you ask a 21-year-old, they may say they think that's hot. If you ask a 40-year-old to go deposit their checks via mail with a stamp, they'd look at you like you're crazy. I mean, or go to a bank to deposit a check. You know what I'm getting at here.
Yep.
So every time something that's introduced is new, people are always going to backlash about it. So in the sport of bowling, nobody has ever seen string pins in a competitive environment. We've gone and bowled on short lanes. We've gone and bowled duck pins and candle pins recreationally, but we've never walked into a bowling alley and watched the pins go up on strings. It's almost like a carnival game to basically everybody that watches bowling. Somebody in the comments said, I don't really care about the strings. I care that they get tangled up. Yeah, they get tangled up on the short stub lanes on the cruise ship too. It's a carnival game. But if in 15 years or 20 years, the same way 20 years ago, everybody said, Belmo's not going to last. Two hands is stupid. It's ruining the game. He's going to have injuries. He's going to have this. Yeah, meanwhile, he's the most decorated bowler ever now, 20 years later. And now 70% of the population throws it with two hands. When 20 years ago, 70% of the population said, this guy's fucking stupid. This is stupid. This is cheating. Yeah, anything they wanted to fucking say, right? The same thing is happening with the string pins. This is brand new to everybody. But in 20 years from now, if the only remaining bowling centers in the world are all string pins, anybody that actually likes bowling, even this much, will bowl in a string pin center. That's all you got.
Yeah.
I'm not into electric cars. I think there's a lot of perks about them. I think they're really, really cool. If you have enough money and you want to get a charging port on your driveway, if you want a car that drives you home when you're drunk, it's amazing. But do I necessarily want to drive cross country and have to find a charging port? No, I'd rather find a gas station or the last gas for 200 miles.
Right.
I have a choice to either transition, because in 20 or 25 years, everything's going to be an electric car. Right now, we're still allowed to drive gas cars. I don't want to make the transition, but I'm still young enough / old enough that I'm okay going either direction.
Right.
Because it's the way the world works. You either evolve or you die. That's all there is to it. I don't want to throw urethane on the bowling lanes. I'm pretty sure 80% of the lefties also don't want to throw it, but it's our best chance to throw strikes, right?
Right.
It's you either evolve or you die.
No, you're right. You're right.
That's kind of my stance on all of that.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about this at length, but that's a great point. You either evolve or you die, and there's plenty of guys that say, "Oh, I'm never going to bowl on those if they put him in, and I don't have a choice. I'll just quit bowling." Well, okay, sure.
Yeah. So the next question I'd like to ask those people is, so let me get this straight. You've bowled 4 leagues a week for the last 45 years.
Yeah.
Which means Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, your day is planned around work and bowling, because bowling is going to occupy at least 12 hours of your week. So if you're going to quit because you don't like string pins, what are you going to do at the ripe old age of 60 that's going to entertain you for those extra 12 hours a week?
Right.
I'm telling you right now, dude, my dad is 77. He has a hard time getting to the foul line right now. Not a lot of people know that, because my dad's still healthy enough and aware enough. But my dad's never going to average 220 ever again. And if he does, it would be a miracle year. But you bet your ass my dad still goes to the bowling alley and practices every day. It's all he's known forever, right? You can't tell somebody who's been wired for that long that all of a sudden, oh, well, I'm just going to quit because now it's a carnival game in my eyes. It works that way on the surface, but eventually I think what happens is it dies out a little bit. It just like anything else, man. It eventually mellows out, and the people that love the sport will always be here. And the people that don't love it enough, they're not leaving bowling because they hate string pins. They're leaving bowling because they found something better to do.
Right.
More fun to do.
Yep.
Like, in other words, like, there's a bunch of people that like, hey, I don't bowl on Thursday nights anymore because I joined a billiard league followed by an axe throwing league. And it's just as fun, and it costs $10 a week instead of $40. Yeah. And first place at the end of the season is $5,000 instead of $2,000. That's totally acceptable.
Right.
You get to spend the same amount of time, make more money, enjoy yourself the exact same way, and life is good, right?
Absolutely right. Troy, what's up, brother? Dude, how cool is it to see Troy pick up a fucking bowling ball again and watch that glorious swing? We're still pulling for you, Troy, to get healthy, but man, it's really good to see you back on the lanes. I could watch you bowl all day long, brother. But he says these string pins were pretty fair from what he observed, and a lot of pros are saying the same thing. But again, if all centers happen to change, what are you going to do? You literally either just shut the fuck up and bowl, or you don't. Exactly. And don't bitch about it, because you can't stop change. You can't stop progress as much as we want to. And look, I don't like change either, Johnny. I'm 48 years old, and I'm kind of I'm a routine kind of guy, and I like having the same things and you know, just different patterns and stuff that I gravitate to, and I don't like fucking changing things. That's just the nature of being a human being, honestly. When you get older, it clearly gets harder to do because we just get stuck in our ways. But
totally, dude,
we're not gonna have a choice if this goes full through. And why would they put that much money into it if it wasn't gonna be the future of the sport?
Dude, I look at it this way, because again, I'm at the age where I've transitioned enough to like try and be relatable to, say, my parents, right? I remember I loved video games when I was a kid, dude. But I love video games from original Nintendo to like PlayStation 2. Maybe like the beginning of PlayStation 3.
Right.
That was my era of video games. I think the last game I ever actually played was like Grand Theft Auto 3 or maybe Vice City, for any gamers out there.
Fucking love Vice City.
And then once Xbox came out and shit like that, where it's like, oh, you can sync, you can play with friends over here, you can do this. I'm like, this is way too fucking much for me. Give me Mario Kart, give me GoldenEye, give me Mario Brothers 3. That's all I need. And I eventually, I was young enough that I just said, no, I don't want to fucking play video games anymore. This is not for me anymore. I have no interest in Fortnite or Halo or anything like that. I have no problem with people that do, but I lost that.
Yeah.
Right. And that happened in like what, my teens into my 20s or whatever it was. It happens at every single level in life. There is always shit that drops off that you actually don't care enough about and replace it with something different.
Sure.
And it happens, I would assume it. Chuck's talking about Galaga. My dad is one of the best Pac-Man players ever. I stopped playing Pac-Man when I was 12. It wasn't enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
The same way in the movie Clueless, when fucking Travis sits up and asks Mr. Hall, he says, the way I feel about the Rolling Stones is the way my kids are going to feel about Nine Inch Nails. So I probably shouldn't torment my mom anymore. Right?
That's fair. Yep.
It's be aware of it, but like, don't make it your entire life. Either go with the flow, like Bruce Lee says, be like water, which means basically whenever water ripples, it never stops. It just goes a different direction. It goes exactly where it has to go, and it just continues, right? You can either have that method of thinking, or you can fight the inevitable and bash your head against the wall, lose your hair earlier, be stressful your entire life, and bitch at people for spilling a drink in the vicinity of where you have to walk.
Right.
You know, it's yeah. Man,
like Tyson's punch out.
Look at everybody popping out with the goddamn games. Now all I want to do is play Sonic on Sega and go fucking destroy Soda Pop and Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
And Ocho will play Tecmo Bowl because that's pretty much all he plays.
As long as he's not Bo Jackson, I'll play him. He can't take the Raiders in that game. It's not fair.
You can't. It's not fair at all. All right. I don't know where Ocho is, but you did want to talk about. Oh, hang on. Holly wants to know, can we still order shirts off the website?
Holly, we ran into a little hiccup with our distributor. Thank goodness we finally got all of the pre-orders out today. Rob and I are actually in the midst of looking for a new supplier, so hold off on that. I'll contact you directly, and I will answer your message earlier about the tournament flyer that you sent. You just actually happened to send it as soon as we were coming on, so I promise I will make sure I get that to you. While we're also here, Jeff, your Pure Envy was actually sent out today. When we get off today, I will send you the tracking information. It's coming FedEx.
Nice.
And what else do I have? That's good. Go ahead, Rob.
No, that's cool. And thank you, Holly, for that question, because somebody else had mentioned me earlier today. It was Michael Jennings. And I told him we actually literally shipped today. And we ran into an issue, as you said, and we're looking for a new supplier and distributor. So
we did.
Bear with us. We will work it out.
And listen, I'm going to take full responsibility here. I hate throwing other people under the bus. And again, for everybody, it was my first ever shot as a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever it is. And I had to crush some fucking skulls, but we got it done. And again, I'm sincerely apologetic to everybody who's waited this long, and gracious to all of you who did pre-order shirts. So thank you all so much.
Yes, awesome. And we'll keep you apprised of what we do moving forward. But we do appreciate everybody getting involved. So League Talk, you wanted to mention, because we haven't talked about League in a few weeks with our guests on and all that. So
yeah, I mean,
how have you been bowling recently?
I always start to bowl better when it starts to cool down. My best months in my entire history of bowling has always been from October to February. For some reason, I just bowl really, really, really well. DJ Ricky Smith, I'm not on Diddy's list, even though I'm a fucking fanatic when it comes to baby oil. So we can take that as you want. But where were we going with this? What were we talking about?
The memes alone on Diddy have been fucking tremendous. Like, the internet is beautiful.
No, you know, to be honest, so this is my first ever season living in New Jersey and not bowling league at Carolier, which is now Bolero, North Brunswick.
That's still Carolier. Fuck it. We're always going to call it Carolier.
Right. So instead, I'm actually bowling at the bowling center owned and operated by one of the most well-known families in the bowling industry, the Martino family, over at Majestic Lanes in Hope Lawn.
Okay.
And I'm thoroughly enjoying bowling there. It's a true 5-person scratch league, 33 points available every night, $100 to $150 in side action every single night. A lot of players in there. And the East Coast vibe on the bowling lanes is just a little bit different than the West. The West is a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more lackadaisical, I would almost say. Whereas the East Coast, everybody's a little bit more cutthroat. Everybody wants to bowl 300 every game, which in turn turns my brain on when I bowl. So I absolutely love not only bowling in the Martino's facility, but also with the team I'm bowling with. I'm bowling with a batch of 4 guys I've never met before prior to being there this summer. And I've grown to love them very much. And we're struggling in the early going, but I feel like we're going to come on strong. We got a lot of weeks left. And then Monday, I'm bowling with the fucking, what's the word that you give me? The incomparable Nick D'Ambrosio.
Yes.
Along with my girl Emerald and now Marvin, the legendary house hack of Howell Lanes. And we are currently in first place on Mondays through 4 or 5 weeks or whatever it is. And just honestly, I'm kind of entered the bowling season with a slightly different mentality this year. This is not like Vegas where I could do whatever I want and wear shorts and flip-flops in December. This is like, hey, it's getting cold. I go to the gym, I take my dog out for a quick piss and shit, and I go bowling. And I'm cozy. I'm throwing it very, very well considering the fact that my lats are too big. But yeah, I mean, so far it's been a really, really beautiful season so far to open up.
And you're having fun, right? I mean, that right now, if you don't care about being that competitive, I mean, you're having fun. You still love bowling. It's in your blood. But I mean, you're not looking to. I mean, you're not looking to fucking. You're always looking to win. Where am I going with it? Dude.
I am having fun, Rob, and
taking a week off fucked me up. But no, you're having fun now, which is the most important part.
I totally understand what you're saying, and yes, I am having fun. And when I'm there, I'm in a good headspace. I go there properly this season. Last year, like I would go play golf, get obliterated on the golf course, and then go try and bowl and think that I needed the booze. Now it's like I'll go to the gym, I'll eat 12 ounces of steak, a cup of rice, I'll take a shit, I'll take a shower, like all that good stuff.
Sure.
And then I'll go to league.
Nature has its way.
And my body will be ready. My body's like any normal human would, which is totally different for me now.
Right.
But yeah, it's a totally different mindset. Nick's got some new bowling balls. My team on Monday, not only do we have the greatest chemistry ever, but we have a solid bowling team. There are no holes in our lineup whatsoever, and that's intimidating to everybody that you're up against.
And I'm a chemistry major too, by the way.
Totally.
Bachelor's in science. FYI.
I'm in applied science, which somehow relates to criminology and not his science.
But he still knows.
Now, everybody knows who you are, obviously, especially since you're back in Jersey and you grew up here your whole life, pretty much.
You're talking about him, right?
No, I'm talking about you. We don't know where Ocho's from. He just happens to wander. He's the wanderer. We all know that. He's the wanderer. Do you still feel any pressure to perform?
For myself, not for anybody else.
Okay, that's where I was.
I expect to beat the living shit out of everybody every time I'm on the lanes. And that's all I expect. So when I don't, it bothers me.
Okay.
So like they'll say to me like, dude, how could you go stone 8, stone 9, ring 7, and then turn around and act like you threw a strike and like be smiling and just go shoot it like nothing happened? Because in my brain, I say, I am so much better than everybody else that if I left those 3 in a row, there's no way anybody else threw a turkey. And I will throw a turkey. Like I'll figure it out. It's that kind of, and I don't believe that all the time. And I don't say that in like a narcissistic fashion. I'm saying that because that's the way my brain operates. When I go in the gym and I lift weights, I don't care if I'm bigger than everybody else. I don't look at anybody else. I go there to do my job. And honestly, one of the most humbling things in the world is like, even though most men that lift weights are going to the gym to like look pretty and gain the eye of the opposite sex. Well, I should probably say that a little bit more conservatively in these days.
2024.
But anyway, most guys that go lift weights are going there to aesthetically look more pleasing.
Right.
And I said this to him earlier.
Hey, we got to see ourselves naked too, man. That's the other thing.
I said to him, I've been approached by 5 or 6 different men at the gym that I go to. And they ask me what my weight is, what my diet's like, what my routine's like. And they go out of their way to like compliment me and ask me questions. That's more humbling than anything else in the world.
That also means gym bros are cooler than freaking most.
They appreciate the grind the same way we appreciate the grind of bowlers or anything else that we love.
Right.
You know?
Now, while you're not drinking and bowling anymore, how do you quiet your mind? Because you said that was a big help in kind of just fucking chilling you out or smoking, a joint or whatever. Like, how are you now when you're on the lanes? Like, you just plug in your earbuds and just tune out?
No, tell you the truth. So I do drink once a week now. Like when I have a day off, I will typically drink the night before. And for about the last 2 months, my rest day is Wednesday.
Okay.
So on Tuesday, it's a 5-person league that starts at 7:30, an hour from my home. So I'll drink on Tuesday. I'll play pool afterwards. I'm friends with the bartenders. I'm friends with all the bowlers. So I enjoy my one day for about 4 or 5 hours. But I make sure that I drink for every shot of tequila I have, because anybody that knows me knows that's my drink. I drink 8 ounces of water. So I'll go in with my bowling bag in my backpack, and I'll have 5 or 6 Poland Spring bottles. And every time I choose to have a shot, I'll drink 6 ounces of the water.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can stay at least mentally focused enough. But on the nights that I don't drink, no, I don't smoke weed anymore when I bowl. I eat properly. I shower. If anything, I may pop a few Advil just in case I have like some joint pain or something like that. And I just go bowl and I people watch. I observe what's going on around me. Oh, this person's playing this arrow. This person's rung 4 consecutive 10 pins on this pair. This lane's
you were
doing
watching
this.
me, I guess, obviously.
Like I'm kind of more into what's going on around me rather than the diseases
The
of
full focus of
addiction.
your whole bowling alley
Right.
addiction shit.
My focus used to be get enough alcohol in me that I don't even have to know where I am to be coherent.
But still, how about that autopilot switch you got? Because you can still fucking bang it out, though. Ain't that the shit?
That was remarkable what you were able to do. Like,
ain't that the shit that, like, he can go in there and get freaking torqued up, throw it on autopilot, shoot 780 and be like, oh, yeah, 780, no big deal. Okay.
Well, you got to think, man. I mean, let's just look at
it
this
a
way.
trillion shots. I get it, but
Pete Weber did the same thing, though. Obviously.
This bowling show is based around bowling, but we also talk about life issues. We talk about addiction. We talk about the way the brain operates. I don't know this for certain, but I definitely have some kind of ADHD. Something where my brain is just overactive all the time.
You want to go for a bike ride?
Sure.
He's right.
But what happens is when I'm bowling, all those overactive thoughts, sometimes they overactively get negative in my brain.
Yeah.
But when I drink alcohol,
It evens it out.
They always say that the thing about alcohol is it inhibits your ability to assess what's more important, right? So that's the downfall. But the upside of it is it also allows you to not worry about the downside. So like what I'll do is if I get drunk enough, I'll say, yeah, I'll throw $150 into the pots, even though I don't have it. But now when I'm bowling, the only thing I'm thinking about is, man, how fast are the pins going to fall on this shot? I'm not thinking about thumbing it down or being sluggish to the foul line or missing a spare.
That's a hell of a motivation too. I mean, that's almost like It's almost like pop or action bowling, like back in the 70s or something like that, when mobs were fucking coming in throwing
it's almost like you don't have any other options. Like it's either kill or be killed.
But you need it in order to freaking perform at that level. That's wild too.
Yeah, that's why I was just curious to see how you are mentally now, since you don't have those vices anymore. And you used to say that it was easier to go out and bowl when you were fucked up. So,
well, Rob, they always say that don't ever live a life with regret. I've done a lot of shitty things in my life, but I've learned something from all of them. And I guess the other thing is as you get a little bit older, you just mature a little bit mentally. So I'm not sitting there like frantic anymore. I'm saying there's more important things in my life, like not going to prison because I get a DUI, not killing somebody on my way home, not getting so obliterated that not only can I not see straight, but I need the owner of the bowling alley to say, hey, John, you've had enough. You need us to call you a cab home. Like, that's embarrassing, man. Forget about what everybody else is looking at or saying about you. That's embarrassing to you as a person.
Sure.
And eventually when it happens enough, you just don't want it to happen anymore, right?
Right.
So now what I'll do is, like, I have a number. And this is going to sound crazy, but anybody that's ever drank alcohol and knows me, I'm an open book. You know those like $30 bottles of Cuervo that you would get in, I don't even know, what are they, 750 milliliter bottle?
That's about the basic one, right?
Where's that Fireball bottle?
Yonder.
If you can grab that, I'm curious how many mils that is. But we can just nut the fuck it.
All right.
But let's just say a 750 mil bottle.
Yeah.
For 12 years in Vegas, I would bowl at South Point at 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. I would drink 375 mils of that bottle before I got to South Point. And then I would get to South Point at like 4:30. And then I would probably drink 10 or 12 shots downstairs at the Grandview Lounge before I went up to bowl. So I was a solid bottle of tequila deep every single time I bowled league on Tuesday prior to starting practice.
What was your average?
230. 34.
Yeah.
36. 268.
Could have been 291.
But what I'm saying is it's gross. And now, Jesus, I mean.
And it cost you a lot, obviously, in your personal life.
Actually, it didn't cost me a lot in Vegas.
Well, no, of course. Well,
it didn't cost me a lot in Vegas. In Vegas, I'm pretty sure that's why I drank so much.
That's fair.
And I love what Roger said here. And honestly, half joking and half serious, what did happen was eventually my body said, "Fuck you, you're gonna die unless you change something." And that's exactly
his liver started like peeling out of his skin. It was like much like when Jim an Alien. Remember Alien when he started coming out in the beginning? Like his liver started piercing out on the right side, and the doctor's like, "We got to put that back in. Your enzymes are a little elevated," and he wasn't in bulk modes either. So that's why now
Mama Phyllis, who's always here, and Mama Phyllis came to see me in the hospital. I was driving home from South Point back to my condo in Vegas, and my entire left side did this. I couldn't even raise my left hand onto the wheel. Thank God there was an urgent care off Blue Diamond.
Yeah.
And she came to see me, and it was pretty close, man. It's a little different when you're dancing with death, but you inflict it upon yourself. And that's pretty gross. This got really deep tonight.
Unintentionally. Unfettered. Did you see your unfettered shit?
Oh, it's so deep.
It's been a while.
Oh, I can barely lift my right arm.
No, I like it. It's been a while since we've had
Wasn't
chats
this league talk? Because I jumped in. I was like, oh, he's going to ask me a question any second.
Yeah,
no, it don't matter. No, fuck this.
Now to Ocho's league talk.
Well,
Ocho, how you bowling, bro?
Like,
218, 219?
I'm just trying to be a dad, take care of the daughter, and I come out and, how's league? And I'm like, oh, shit. Maybe I
we didn't know where you went for
That's
the
all right.
last
No, you're fine. I didn't mean
either.
it like that. I meant like, okay, I'm sure there's so many women out there that want to get me back in. So let's get on the show.
All right, then here, take the cross.
And was that what it was? Was it league talk?
Yes, league talk.
It's your turn to talk about league, bro.
I'm bowling.
By the way, Sperone, congrats,
Johnny.
brother. Congrats on not having a drink for a year and quitting smoking. That's good on you, brother. Here, this is for you. He's always giving.
Rob, how long can you go without Popeyes?
About a week and a half.
Okay, all right, that's not bad. That's not bad.
No, I'm working on it. I've lost 25 pounds. I don't know where it went.
But, you know where it went.
You find it, let me know. Yeah, in my pants.
It went where the camera ain't.
Yeah, exactly. So league talk. What are you? 218, 219 now? Ouch? Where are we at?
I was at 221, and we have this 10-pin drop off, which I wish was a 20-pin.
Sure.
But no, honestly, damnedest thing. I come out week one. Now again, Ocho, being a supreme athlete, leaves his bowling balls in his car through the worst heat wave in New Jersey history.
Sure.
And then I get to the bowling alley and I start throwing strikes in practice. Unbeknownst to me, I realize, oh, right, I'm Ocho, because I forgot for a second. Then the game starts and I start throwing strikes. And I went, oh, my God, that's right. I'm Ocho. It's easy because I got the big red wiffle bat.
Right.
And then now we're going back 4 weeks now. We got to remember now. That's the other thing.
It's been a while since we talked about league. Yeah.
I took off the entire summer. Shot a 680 the first week. Unintentionally, I thought I would do worse. The next week, it was maybe 640-ish or something like that. And then the last 2 weeks, so the last week, not this past one, not this past one, the week prior, I'm throwing a bowling ball, and my finger grip goes down the lane.
Oh, shit.
Finger grip, down the lane, into the gutter, but the ball, perfect strike, because what can't Ocho do?
That's fair.
Of course, I'm a survivalist. I always have glue on me and whatnot for people who talk too much. I glue their mouth shut.
Who retrieved Who retrieved the grip?
The person that is behind the desk who is trained and had never done it before in her life, gone down the lane.
Did she walk down the
It looked like she was playing
caps, or-
hopscotch. She's on the freaking gutter rail. She's in the gutter.
Okay.
She's on the gutter rail. I swear to God, she was playing hopscotch with my damn finger grip.
That's
So
awesome.
I don't even switch balls. It's Loctite, so I know within about 30 seconds we're good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So you don't know what kind of tentativeness is going. But I threw another strike. I didn't bowl that good, honestly. I'm at 217 right now. I shot 688 last week.
Yep.
Because 8 10 pins last week, made all of them. Actually, so 9 10 pins the week before, missed one. Just saying.
So you're about what,
It's been a
88%?
and I'm going through every bowling ball, and it's the same bowling balls that I have. I have I know them now. I got them. I have a shifter.
No.
And I have
no.
Gravity shift.
Gravity shift. Okay. I got a purple ball. That's the purple one. But I know it's the purple one. I got the winner.
Solid.
Is that what it's called?
Winner solid.
Fuck. And just say it's called a wrecker. Can you just say it's called a wrecker?
That's
okay,
it,
I got the
right.
wrecker. Yes.
Okay.
Now the wrecker is the one that the finger grip, and it's got a giant split in between the finger grips, which
That's okay. I'm gonna come back now.
Yeah, I put JB's epoxy in there too, so don't tell anybody.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay.
I missed 17 10 pins all last year. I've already missed 3 this year. Just saying.
So you're about 88%?
Of course. I don't know. Doesn't matter. How do you know how many I've had? I could have been
Amanda wants to know.
0 for 3 and said I missed all 3 10 pins.
We need to know the hard hitting stuff on this show. Do
I
you
was
wear a
unsighted,
mask?
by the way? And now don't worry about it. I'm big red wiffle batting it because now I got the mojo.
Do you take your mask off, or do you keep your mask on when you bowl?
What mask? What mask are you guys talking about?
Candy, the bastard stole my candy.
Thank you,
Somebody
Ricky.
go to league and we'll see who's wearing a mask and who isn't. I don't know.
And
what
yes,
mask he is.
DJ Ricky Smith, that wrecker, the OG, one of the best balls ever made, and that's coming from a Brunswick guy.
What is it? Which
yes.
ball? Is that the one he's talking about? 10 years old?
Yeah, the wrecker right here.
Oh, the OG. Oh, fucking A.
The OG wrecker.
Yeah, it's badass. Honestly, so like it's
Thank
the ball to go to because it's the only one that always plays the same. If the heads get burnt up or if the freaking whole shit dries up, like all you gotta do is 2 boards left and you just throw it the same. Everything does the same.
There are some balls like that.
Why won't it? Why doesn't it stay in freaking relevance, man?
Amanda, imagine if Ocho knew his equipment.
Amanda, I know my equipment. Believe me.
No.
Wait, that's a very vague question. Hold on.
It is. Yes.
Or statement, I guess I should say.
Ocho wears his mask to protect his loved ones.
It was a good aggressive.
I'm okay with it. I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine with it.
It goes long.
Stop getting in my DM.
This show's getting off the rails. Chuck says you need an envy tour. Ocho doesn't envy.
Is that like a Winnebago or something? Like you drive around the country in?
Roger, that's a way too detailed question for Och.
What do you say?
Och knows the wide gap
the
between
pin
his
on your
fingers,
left?
and he doesn't know where the pin.
Where's the pin? Here's my guess.
I wrestled in high school. I know what pins are.
My guess is the pin is at like 1 o'clock, and so is the CG or the mass.
Yeah, what's your pap, Ocho?
Yeah, good.
I haven't had a schmear in a long time.
It's been a long time for a schmear. Do we have an imbecile? We've reached an hour.
Yes, we do. Thank you for keeping us on track, Johnny.
Thank God. Let's get to this goddamn scrub.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment.
If you guys don't know how to use a seatbelt, just ring your call button and Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer.
You know, Lloyd,
And the MG
just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
Here's the imbecile of the week.
Some people are really stupid.
Mass bias. I got that.
Mass bias. All right. Here we go with the imbecile of the week. This is from my local Facebook group here in Middle Tennessee, which is a gift that keeps on giving, just like the Bowler Science Forum. Which has been...
Did any of them find your neck, Rob, or no? I know you put it out there.
A dick. All right. Here is a post from Ashley Nicole from our Murfreesboro group in Tennessee. Papa John's on Memorial Boulevard. My husband took the pizza back, and the guy was speechless. We got it replaced, but there was no need in this. Looks very intentional to me.
It looks like a treble, a bass clef. Remember, is there any musicians out there? There's a treble clef and a bass clef.
Looks like the
That's
French
a bass
horn
clef.
my dad used to play.
It's a bass clef. I'm telling you.
Ocho, you're a purveyor of the Italian foods. Why would somebody intentionally wreck a pizza for somebody?
And no, I don't think somebody did donuts in the car because it literally looks like it was spun in a
you can see the grease spot where it was originally around it. You can see the
And maybe-
pepperoni
and
spots.
then
Yeah.
Maybe somebody had a drill press and or even you know what they were trying to do? They're probably grouting tile. And so they had to get the grout. So they put the big freaking, the big gimmick in the drill and they spun it and then they put it in the pizza. So there's probably grout in that pizza.
I mean, the cheese got in the top of the box for fuck's like this is a pretty fucked up pizza.
Thank God they replaced it. I mean, obviously, how can't they?
Well, that's the question, Johnny. Hold on. That's the week before. Let's see. No, God. Oh yeah. Nick Fotopoulos. I think I got that right. Fotopoulos. It's Papa John's. It's still gonna taste like shit either way. I just thought that was a funny comment.
He's not wrong.
No,
That's not right.
I like Papa John's, but he's not wrong.
Listen to me.
It's Fotopoulos, by the way.
For anybody that likes pizza, can we just agree on one thing? There are two types of pizza. There's good pizza and there's fabulous pizza.
I've had shitty pizza.
That's bullshit.
I'm telling you, Attilio's. I'm telling you.
You know what? I agree. Lupo's and Long Branch.
There's a place that I won't eat. I would turn. Right, I don't turn down pizza, and I would turn this place down and go, no, I'm good. I'll have this sugar packet. Thank you.
I get it, but I love Papa John's.
Okay,
I was a Papa John's guy. Remember that garlic sauce?
Garlic sauce. Eat that one straggling fucking pepper.
I ate the Papa John's when I was at your house. That's right.
PJ's is solid.
The spicy.
So I'm not going to call him an imbecile for saying that because it's kind of embarrassing. That's like me saying I love fettuccine Alfredo from Olive Garden and I'm a full-blooded Italian.
I do too.
But again, I'm not just going to go to what
you're disparaging the whole pizza
says.
Name too. I get you.
I get it. I'm not going to call him an imbecile. Go on.
Somebody asked, you took it back and they made it right. Why blast them on Facebook and hurt someone's livelihood?
Great question, Kagi.
Which
somebody
really
else, Papa John's franchise. I mean, they're a franchise.
I love that comment.
Tookie May Leslie said, that's my same take on it. It's not even Papa John's fault. It's on the Dasher. So DJ Ricky Smith hit the nail on the head. That's DoorDash is who delivers for Papa John's now. They got rid of their company drivers. So
unless a really disgruntled employee said, fuck this guy, and just decided to spin.
It looks like they went on to
maybe.
a sit and spin. Remember the sit and spin, the freaking puker machine for kids? He was like, oh, I got to go deliver DoorDash. Let's get on the sit and spin. Fucking bang it around, and then we're good.
Jonathan Smith said Papa John's technically didn't have to replace anything since DoorDash delivered it, but they did, and you're still complaining. To which Ashley Porter Mathis also responded, they should, since they contract DoorDash to do their deliveries.
Who the hell spells her name like that?
It's also good points. These are all good points.
Ashley,
but again, imagine having nothing better to do than call out a fast food pizza chain and then post it publicly.
You know what's funny is I probably would have take a picture of it, eaten it, and then been done with it. Only because if I'm ordering Papa John's, I'm probably just jonesing for a pizza anyway. I'm not going to wait another freaking hour and a half or so.
I would have eaten it,
and I'd be like, I got the first
the
base clef Papa John's pizza in history.
Last night, I enjoyed a piece of New York style Domino's with a Schlitz. Nice, Roger.
Like Schlitz malt liquor, Schlitz,
like a Schlitz beer.
Oh, fucking A.
Oh yeah,
good for you.
I was going to go with a red stripe. Or possibly like
fun. That's a Jamaican one, right?
Yeah. Jamaican beer.
Harp does lager. Harp was also they had a fun thing with the stout too.
It also looks like Pac-Man with his tongue sticking out.
It really is very Pac-Man-ish.
It is.
I love they managed to flip.
Asymmetrical Pac-Man.
I love that the person ordered extra dipping sauces, and the driver figured out a way to not only fucking make the pizza look like Pac-Man, but all 4 cups. That's actually impressive.
I really want to meet the DoorDasher that delivered.
Why? What could he? Then what he should have done is unwound it too at the end and taken a picture of it to see what it looked like when it was all back and elongated.
It also kind of looks like me a morning after drinking.
Well, why wouldn't the Dasher open up the box and be like, "Oh shit,
your other eye"?
Yeah.
If you were delivering out there, like, wouldn't you check it to be like, "Oh shit, maybe I should put this back where it fucking belonged and try to make it
like
look
if we put this on the Doppler radar, I would evacuate whatever state it was near.
That's true. That looks like a hurricane's about to fucking blast.
I think
through.
somebody just wrote that as we said it. Roger, weird.
Roger, yeah.
Well, this is excellent. So kudos to you getting a free pizza. Don't fucking destroy a company that you order food from obviously frequently. The DoorDasher, respectfully, is probably not a Rhodes Scholar and was enjoying himself probably in his 2001 Honda Civic with a oversized
he ain't
muffler.
doing donuts like that in a Honda Civic. That's front wheel drive.
Too many people are quick to just take everything public. Even though they rectified the situation, all was made well. You still want to be a dick and post it like it's Papa John's fault when it's not.
Right. Like, why not write back, kudos to Papa John's for giving me a pizza that looks like Pac-Man and then not only replacing it, but also apologizing for the inconvenience.
Did Pac-Man eat half the pizza? Is that probably?
She also probably got a coupon for like 2 more free pizzas.
Yeah, you
that
get
she's not gonna
or
mention.
2 mediums for like $14 or something like that. And
totes.
Pac-Man Jones probably ate half the pizza. But
oh Christ!
Just saying.
All right then. Well, congratulations, Imbecile of the Week, and your Pac-Man pizza.
Way to bail him out of that.
I hope your replacement was lovely.
So yeah, there you go. That was a different Imbecile of the Week, but a fun one nonetheless.
Fabulous.
Johnny, you got anything coming up here soon? Are you bowling any tournaments? Are there any?
I have my next UBA match with the good old Goon Squad this weekend.
Nice.
We were able to take down Reaper Crew 28-12 in their home center for our first match. So the Goons are off to a roaring start. And other than that, I'm full time in the gym, man. I'm 245 right now. I'm trying to get to about 270 by January.
Fuck
maybe
yeah.
275.
Ultimate Warrior.
And then once February hits, go back into that caloric deficit, drop back down to 240. That way I'm chiseled and fucking He-Man like for summer.
Chiseled and ready
that way
to
more guys can
nizzled.
compliment me.
I don't know if it's a lighting, Johnny, or you're literally glowing tonight. Like you just look great tonight.
There's a light right there, and it's right here. I also have the shadow side from here.
You got the good side.
I got the good side.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's the fresh haircut. It's the great lighting, and you just next to Ocho, you just look.
I make everybody look better. That's all.
Yeah.
I exude that too.
Totally.
You do.
My professionalism.
As always, what a wonderful chat with you gentlemen and all of our
Yes, sir.
gracious and continued supporters who are here. Wouldn't do it without you guys. And honestly, it's some of these are some of the best nights where we literally have no content, no idea what we're going to do, and we just spitball. And somehow, some way, this is a really, really good trio that works together. And I pride anybody that's got 2 people that are as tight as me with these 2. So it's always fun on Wednesday nights to be with you guys.
I appreciate that, Johnny. That's how we started, right? I mean, we were blessed to have a whole string of guests, but this is really what we've been doing since day one, just talking about real shit.
Totally.
All right, guys, we appreciate your support. Again, hook up eatcleanbro.com for great home-cooked meals sent straight to your house.
Hell yeah.
You can eat healthy. You can eat clean. You don't have to worry about cooking or cleaning up any pots and pans. Just pop that motherfucker on the stove or the microwave or whatever you want to do in the oven. And I had to throw a motherfucker in there, but
actually, I'm sending you a Papa John's pizza right now.
In any event, check out eatcleanbro.com, and we thank them for supporting us, and we thank you guys for being here every single week. And as far as I know, we'll be back next week. I got nothing going on. I'm sure you 2 gents will be here, so I'm sure we'll have another banger next week. But until then, guys, we hope you have a great rest of your week and have a great weekend. And we'll see you right back here next Wednesday for another edition of Straight Up 5 with that guy, that guy, and the other guy, too. And
here's your Storm Summit peak.
And fuck you, Doc Sullivan.
Thanks for listening to this edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. You can follow the show on Twitter at StraightUp5Pod. Follow Johnny Jr. at JPJR07. Follow Rad Rob at Rad Rob Gaming. And follow Dr. Ocho at the Dr. Ocho. Got a question for Johnny? Send your questions to straightup5podcast@gmail.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Straight Up 5 with Johnny Petraglia Jr. Right here on the Rad Rob Radio Network.